Hi, everybody. This reading is for Thursday, May 7th. We're continuing from our reading on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we started this from Tales from the Odyssey. I don't know if this looks or sounds familiar. Our main character is Odysseus. We then read the first page, right here. We then read the 2 pages, and then we stopped at this mysterious shore. So what we're going to do for this video is I'm going to read where my hand is here, and then we'll read this, and then we're done with our story. In your Google Doc will be some questions for you about the story. Okay, so I'm going to start in paragraph 13 here. Excuse me, 33. Okay, here we go. Soon the Greek ships came upon a hilly island, and they were thick with trees. No human seemed to live there. Hundreds of wild goats could be heard bleating from the island's, sorry, that was sheep, gloomy thickets. Odysseus ordered his men to drop anchor in the shelter of a mist-covered bay. By the time the Greeks had lowered their sails, night had fallen. The moon was hidden by clouds. In the pitch dark, the men lay down on the sandy shore, and they slept. Paragraph 35. When daylight came, the men woke to see a woodland nymphs, the daughters of Zeus, driving wild goats down from the hills. The hungry Greeks eagerly grabbed their bows and spears and slew more than 100 goats. All day the Greeks lingered on the island, feasting on roasted meat and drinking sweet, sweet wine. As the sun went down, they stared at a mysterious shore across the water, and there was smoke that rose from fires on the side of the mountain. The murmur of deep voices and the bleating of sheep wafted through the twilight. Who lives there? Who stokes these fires? Odysseus wondered silently. Are they friendly, or are they lawless men? Darkness fell, and the Greeks slept once more on the sand. When he was wakened by the rosy dawn, Odysseus stared again. We're on the next page. At the mysterious shore in the distance. Though he was yearning to set sail for Ithaca, a strange curiosity had taken hold of him. Odysseus woke his men. I must know who lives on that far shore, he said. With a single ship, I will lead an expedition to find out whether they are all savages or civilized humans. Then we will continue our journey home. Paragraph 40. Odysseus chose his bravest men to go with him. They united a ship from their fleet and pushed off from the island. Soon the Greeks were swinging their long oars into the calm face of the sea, rowing towards the mysterious shore. When they drew close, they dropped anchor beneath a tall, rocky cliff. Odysseus filled a goat skin with the best wine he had on board, made from the sweetest grapes. This will be our gift to repay the hospitality of anyone who welcomes us into his home, he said. He ordered some of his men to remain with the ship, then led the rest up the side of the cliff. On a ledge high above the water, they discovered a large shady clearing. On the other side of the clearing, creepy vines hung over the mouth of a cave. The Greeks pushed past the vines and stepped inside. The cave was filled with young goats and lambs. Pots of cheese and pails of goat's milk were everywhere, but there was no sign of a shepherd. We're now in paragraph 45. Hurry, said one of Odysseus' men. Let us grab provisions and leave. Yes, we should drive the lambs down to our ship before their master returns, said another. No, said Odysseus, we will wait a while. I'm curious to see who lives here. The Greeks made a fire and gave an offering to the gods. Then they greedily took their fill of milk and cheese. Finally, in the late afternoon, they heard whistling and bleating. Ah, the shepherd returns, Odysseus said. Let us step forward and meet this man. But when they peered out of the cave, the Greeks gasped with horror, for the shepherd was no man at all. He was a monster. So remember, once again, this story is in the country of Greece. It's Greek mythology. I'll also be giving some clues and hints on your questions in the Google Doc. Remember, you can watch the video from Tuesday in the Google Classroom, where I read page 1, page 2, page 3, and half of this one. And then today's video, I read the rest of the story. Feel free to re-watch this to help you. I hope it helped, and thanks for watching.